Hey guys, welcome to the best books of August. I have 5 books to go through for this month, and these are kind of the best books I read in August. So some of them, I think most of them are newer. There's one that's a little bit older. And there really are 5 books. I think last month I said there were 5 books and then I only talked about 4. There really are 5 books this year. And there's a kitten running around my tripod, so hopefully we don't have a disaster. The first book I want to talk about is Sapphire Flames by Ilona Andrews. There's actually 2 Ilona Andrews book in this best of series this month. Sapphire Flames is the 4th book in the Hidden Legacy series. It's kind of like, it's got a very urban fantasy feel in it, but it's a little bit science fiction as well. And Ilona Andrews is a husband and wife writing team that just does an excellent job balancing like good character development, good world development, and action. And if you notice, the lighting just changes because my kitten just raised up the blinds with his head. Anyways, it balances a lot of elements I really like. They're always very fast-paced, very engaging. I like the characters, the action, the world. And Sapphire Flames had all of that and more. It switches focus on characters. It goes from Nevada, I don't know how you say her name, to her sister, and kind of focuses on her sister taking over the house and learning about her skills. So her sister has a skill, like she's kind of a siren, like when she speaks, people really get infatuated with her, and it's interesting to watch her try to control that gift as she tries to take over and stabilize their house. It was a very, very good book, very well written. I really, really loved it. So that one. The second one I read this month that I really, really loved is Midnight Beauties by Megan Shepherd. And this is the 2nd book in the Grim Lovelies duology. So this does wrap up the series. Megan Shepherd has been an all-time favorite of mine. I know that she's not universally loved because she does have kind of a different writing style. But I really love her writing style and I love her creativity. And her stories can get a little bit ambiguous sometimes and a little bit hard to follow at points. But I didn't think that this one was like that. I really like this. It's set in an alternate world, mainly in Paris. And it's hard to describe this novel. It is a young adult fantasy. I just really, really loved it. And I thought it did a great job of wrapping up the series. I thought it was beautifully written. And I always really enjoy going back and reading Megan Shepherd's writing. I loved her Madman's Daughter series. I did not like the Cage series quite as much, but I've enjoyed most of her series, and this was a wonderful addition to it. The 3rd book I read this month that I really, really loved, I actually got from the author for review, so thank you, Kelsey Sutton, for sending it to me, and that was Fortuna Sauron by KJ Sutton. KJ Sutton is another name for Kelsey Sutton, who wrote Some Quiet Place, which was a young adult like paranormal book. That I actually really like that book too. Fortuna Sauron is the 1st book in like a new adult / adult series, and that's why she's writing it under a different name, KJ Sutton. And Fortuna Sauron was a very dark, fairy tale-ish type of novel. So it's set in fairy. It's about a girl who's a breed of creature called a nightmare, and that was really cool. And it takes place in a fairy court as she's trying to I'm not going to give too much away, but it's very dark. There is torture and some very adult themes in it. So I'd recommend only older young adult or adult for it, but it was really good and I really loved it. And I'm kind of a sucker for those really dark fairy tales. So it was perfect for me. And I was super excited to see this 1st book in the series. So if you like kind of those really dark fairy tales, Fortuna Sauron is a really good book and I enjoyed it a ton. All right, the next one that I read, the 4th book, is kind of different from all the other ones. It's not, I read a lot of fantasy. I don't read a lot of other stuff, but this is one I picked up on an Audible audiobook sale, and it's Spaceman by Mike Massimino. It's kind of like an autobiography by Mike Massimino. He reads it. He's a very good narrator. It's very funny. It's very heartfelt. It's very interesting because you learn a lot about the space program and about Hubble and about what they had to do to fix these things. And you also learn just a lot about people and dealing with people and how to combat really tough situations, right? So it's, in a way, it's like a science book about space, but it's very humorous, and it also has like some self-help to it as well. I actually listened to it on my own, and we're re-listening to it right now with my son and my husband. My son really is loving it, and it has a lot of really good messages because Massimino went through a lot of really tough challenges to become an astronaut. And it's like, at one point my son even said, he is going through so much work to do this. It is amazing. So it's a really good lesson to kids about, and adults, about like how if you really work hard and you try to tackle these problems and you get support from the people around you and you have a good attitude, you can really do a lot of things. So I'm not saying everyone can become an astronaut. There's some of the things he has to do in there, especially involving motion sickness, that I was like, no. But it's really cool, even if you just want to learn about the space program. But I was just so impressed that not only do you learn about the space program, you laugh a lot, and at the end you think, oh my gosh, I feel like I learned so much from this. So highly recommended Spaceman. If you don't like fantasy, if you don't like whatever reading, it's still a really good book. I loved it. And also it goes into like how he ended up at Big Bang Theory and like all that stuff at the end of the book. And it's pretty cool. All right. So the last book I read, and I just dropped my picture of it, so I'm going to not get it, that I really loved in August is Sweep of the Blade. Again, this is another Ilona Andrews book. It is the 4th book in the Innkeeper Chronicles. I'm going to be honest, the Innkeeper Chronicles is quickly becoming my absolute favorite series by Ilona Andrews. It's just so cool. And this book takes a departure from Dinah, I believe is how, the innkeeper who has her inn on Earth and deals with all these, different alien races that come and stay with her. Instead, you're dealing with Maud, who is her sister, and Maud is going back to like the vampire home planet and dealing with all of that. So it's got Maud and her daughter in there and some of the vampire characters from the other ones. And vampires in this book aren't really like vampires how you think of them as vampires. They are an alien race that came from another planet. And anyways, so again, amazing world building. Completely engaging characters. I love the characters. I love Maud. I loved her daughter. Lots of action, really excellently written fight scenes, just very fast paced, lots of intrigue. I just loved it. So I got really spoiled this month. I got 2 Ilona Andrews books. One, Sapphire Flames, I did get for review, as well as Midnight Beauties, but Sweep the Blade I bought. So that's what I had for the month of September. Or, I'm sorry, August. It is September. I haven't finished reading for September yet. I have read a couple really good books in September, but I will talk about those next month. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. I hope everybody is having a great week and that you got some good books to read. So that's all I really have to say, I guess. If your kids started school recently or not recently, I hope they had a good first week of school, or they are having a good time in school. My son just finished up his first week and is pretty happy. So, he informed me that it's going to take longer than a week for him to tell me how well he's going to like his school year. And I said, okay, well, as long as you're not miserable right now, I think we're okay. So that's all I really have to say to you guys. Again, have a great week. I hope you got some good books to read, and I will talk to you later.